Hello fellow gamers, name is Demon Moonbat and I'm bringing to you another video of modded creative Minecraft. I added lighting to the roads and finished the farming island. So let's go show you that now. And yes, the purple squares are the lighting for this island. I will be adding a link for you to download this world in the description of this video. Might not add it right away because I've never uploaded save file for download before. So if you've seen this video and it's not in the description yet, just keep checking and it'll be there once I figure everything out. I tried to pick the block that provides lighting for each island that best matched the block palette of the roads. And to be honest, I am the most proud of the farming island, which is this one. As you can see, the glowstone matches the road quite nicely. The slabs and stairs of the blocks from mineralogy collect snow and you can put torches on them even if they're on the wrong half of the block. But they act just like you would expect when walked upon. I put markets and shipping bins on the end of the roads. The idea is that the roads that end like that can act as docks. So you'd go to the dock to offload surplus goods and request goods you don't have anything of. The intention for these builds was to showcase the different blocks that we have to work with in this mod pack that I put together. That's why that I have a random selection of blocks and a whole lot of different ones. If you watched Wells Night Patreon server tours video 2 and saw my base, you'd know that I typically just pick one block to work with for each thing. I'm a simple builder. I build big things and cover a lot of land, but simple lines and simple block palettes. And if you've seen other videos that I've put out, you might have heard me say that randomizing gives me a headache. And it does. But I managed to get through this and get it together. I have a few more ideas of what else to build. Like I want a mine on one of the islands that have extreme hills, for example. And there is one, I saw one. I think it was a volcano. But I've already done everything that I had more concrete plans for. There aren't a whole lot of more islands that are close enough to actually make bridges to. So while I will probably build on other islands, I'll probably dock them instead of bridge them. And if you'll notice, I left the redwoods here alone. Now if I were building this in vanilla, first off, it would probably all be wheat fields. Second off, one type of wood, and therefore only one wide boundaries between them, instead of two like here. And I'd probably add fences or glass panes between them, just as some sort of border. After all, in the real world, farms tend to have fences and stuff around them to help separate them from other farms next to theirs. In this mod pack, you have serene seasons, which makes it winter every so often, but you also have greenhouse glass. I'm not really sure exactly how it would affect the crops if you were to put it up around them. But if I had to guess, I'd say that it would prevent the water that hydrates the fields from freezing, so the fields would stay hydrated, and it might make the crops continue growing even out of season. That would be my guess. As you can see, there's quite a few crops planted. The idea is there's 95 houses, and if there's one person per house, that's still 95 people that have to be fed. And I'm not sure that this many crops is enough for that, to be very realistic. Because not only do you have to have enough crops and things to feed the people, you also have to have a surplus so you can replant the same amount later. And the fact of the matter is, you can't feed a single person off of a small herb garden that you can find in somebody's backyard. Let's say you had 5 potato plants and each plant gave an average of 5 potatoes. That would be an average of 25 potatoes in a season. 25 potatoes is not enough to feed a single person for a year. It just isn't. Now, potato plants don't take up a whole lot of space, so you could probably plant more than 5 if you are planning on growing them. And since you only need to take off the eyes of a potato and plant them, and not the potato itself to have more potatoes, that makes potato a very good crop for a small area to feed somebody, but it probably still wouldn't be enough to feed you for an entire year. Not in a small backyard. That's one of the reasons why I don't have crops in real life. It just wouldn't give me enough to feed me for long. Even though potatoes is one of my favorite crops to eat. I get SSI, disability benefits from the government, that I rely upon. If I lose them, I have a few months of savings that would feed me, but after that, I know that I'll starve to death. The only way that I wouldn't is if I had some other kind of income, and I don't. I do have Patreon, but no patrons means no income, means I'm relying on the government to pretty much stay fed. And I'm not stupid enough to expect that to last forever. You could call it pessimism or realism. It's a little of both. I fully expect to lose my SSI at some point, and I fully expect to starve to death afterwards, within a year. But that's not your problem, is it? Just know that if I lose my SSI, I'll probably stop putting out videos because I'll be spending the last months of my life doing what I actually enjoy the most, which is watch anime. So this is what an aerial view of it looks like. You can imagine this took a while. So a lot of crops, and I chose the crops at random too. So tell me, would you want to build this? Oh, and I replanted the tree that was damaged by lightning as well. I turned off mob griefing and fire tick after that. So if you download the world and you want one of those turned on, be aware that it's currently turned off. And that's the end of this tour, just in time for nightfall. It's currently sunset, and you can start to see the light fading from the middle of the crop, so you can see where the glow actually is. And I think that that's a pretty good view. Let's go over here a little bit. You see the glow? Even when you can't see the road itself, you can still see the glow reflecting off the crops. And that's the end of this tour. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.